Welcome to Thienletics, a mental, physical, and emotional health podcast. My name is Tommy, and together with my good friend Alec, we're going to talk about our journey through this thing called life. We hope our stories and conversations inspires anyone out there that they are not alone in their struggles through their journey towards bettering their physical, emotional, and mental well-being. It's okay to struggle. And remember, you are loved, and you are never alone. We will get through this thing called life together. Let's go.
Mental health. I like your intro a lot, telling the people they're not alone. And just editing this podcast made me feel like I wasn't alone because I'm literally talking to somebody about my mental health. It hits different, especially when I'm in the fields.
So this will be our third episode, and we will, at the moment, we're kind of rotating topics. So our first episode was kind of emotional based. Second was more physical based, and now we're in the mental section of the podcast. So to start off, what does mental health mean to you?
Mental health? I'm not exactly sure what it even means to me. I just know how to use it. How to take my mental health and resolve it instead of procrastinating and letting it hurt me more. It's just hard to explain what it means to me. I almost think of it as a weakness because my anxiety and depression always kicks in whenever I don't need it to kick in.
Yeah, it does often show up at the worst time, which makes sense because that's usually when it drops the most.
Talk about it. I hate it when it pops up at the gym because that's my dopamine release and it shows up. I'm like, no, why? And I couldn't even PR. And then my depression goes even further.
Yeah, sometimes I used to joke about saying that my depression's my pre-workout. And
your inner demons? Oh no.
Yeah, it's very the classic you're at the gym to fight your inner demons, and it do be like that sometimes.
It reminds me of that meme. Why do you go to the gym? Number 1, to work on your health. Number 2, to fight your inner demons. It's so true.
I want to move away from that though. I don't I mean it's a meme, but it's kind of not the greatest way of, I guess, it's a joke, but there's some level of truth in it. And consider your anxious thought or your depressive thoughts as your inner demons. It's like saying that it's a really bad thing.
Oh yeah, man. That's why I said in our past video, go to the gym to feel good and have fun, you know? I try not to make that my sanctuary. I try not to make it a place for me to fight demons. Although sometimes it occurs. I can't do anything about it. But it gets me to lift the pump. I just move away from that thought. So whenever I think to myself, why do I go to the gym? To have fun, to make friends, to lift, to try new things. And I'm content with it. But I never try to joke around too much about fighting inner demons unless I'm in a group setting. I'm like, bro, I'm fighting demons. And I take a heavy lift.
I think that the reason why I go to the gym is nowadays I try to go, number 1, for the community, just to have fun and meet new people, see my friends, support them, hype them up to hit their PRs. And the other thing is just to make my body just overall healthier. And I used to kind of use it as an outlet to relieve stress, which is that is a big reason too why I like to go. However, sometimes it's I don't want to use the gym as escapism.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I see a lot of people, and I think today's gym culture, they do, I mean, it's a joke, right? Where it's just you go to the gym to fight your inner demons. But I do think that there are people that genuinely do that. And I was part of the camp for a long time too.
That's really interesting. It's so weird because I use the gym as escapism. It's the only place I can go, I believe, where I can just not worry about anything. All I can do is pick weight up, down. I don't worry about anything else when I'm inside the gym unless I'm already going inside with a bad mentality. It's really interesting you try not to use that escapism because that's the way I use it.
I do also use it for escapism too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a good place to de-stress. It's a good place to not think about everyday problems such as like your life, your
Mm-hmm.
family life, your work life, your relationship life, your friends life, your own like mental health in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a place where you just go to work on your physical health. And I think that's good. I just I've seen people take it a little too far.
Definitely. The gym rat disease.
Yeah, the gym
Gym
rat
rat disease.
disease.
Oh my gosh. It makes sense. Like, I've thought about the times where I used the gym to get rid of my stress and anxiety. And I think about my methods now. It's pretty interesting because I would go to the gym to basically just escape everything without trying to resolve everything outside of the gym. Like, I'd have, I don't know, assignments I'd be stressing out about. Instead of doing the assignments, I'm like, I need to go to the gym. The gym is where I need to be right now. I would just work out, get my stress out, go home and do it. But when I think about it now, present day, I'm like, I do my homework assignments like a week or two ahead of time so I don't have to worry about it and I can still go to the gym to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really weird just seeing the comparisons of how I used to deal with things. And the gym is, it's more than a sanctuary now. Like, I'm meeting people like you, or a calisthenic group. I'm meeting my old middle school friends out there. And I'm like, hey, didn't I go to middle school with you? And they don't remember me, but I remember them. It's just weird.
The gym that we go to is like quite affordable, so you get to
Mm-hmm.
see like it's just I would say it's like one of the most popular gyms in Lafayette.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so you're just bound to see people that you've just grown up with over there, and that's to me there's a level of comfort to it.
Oh no. I go with the mentality like, oh, didn't I used to see you in middle school? How do I look now? Flex, 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 flex. Or I'd try to do like a PR. But that's just my ego kicking in because my middle school self wouldn't have been able to do this
I
with
mean,
this
that's
much
still
confidence.
fun too, though, right? Because I mean, it's like,
Oh, yeah, definitely. I met with one of my old middle school friends out there, and we were just talking about mental health, and then we talked about our middle school experiences. And then everything got quiet, and we're like, you know what? Our middle school experience was pretty bad, actually. But the things that went on, like, I remember vividly. It was like a fun day. Everybody was outside. They had like some food trucks. And then all you see is a bunch of kids running to one area and dirt just in the air. So just like a war scene. And then a fight's breaking out in front of a food truck. Some kid broke his nose. And we're like, yeah, that was kind of.
this all happened in like the span of 5 minutes.
Yes, exactly. So just imagine 5 minutes feeling like an hour. Just like dirt in the air, teachers coming in, or resource officer trying to pull kids back. And I'm in the corner eating like my food. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I hated middle school. I think middle school is like the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
school out of the schools. Like elementary was like, I had a good time in elementary, and then middle school, it just went downhill, and then high school is kind of like the in between, for me at least.
That's pretty reasonable. I'd say middle school was more of my discovering years. Like, I discovered things I liked, but I also discovered my insecurities. Because, when I'm not sure how your body worked, but my acne, my little mustache, my peach fuzz started coming in,
Yeah.
and I just got very insecure the way I looked. Like I had like my arm knee, like my chicken skin.
Oh, like acne on your arms.
I guess so. It's like chicken skin, psoriasis or something like that.
Uh huh.
And I just people like Alec, what is that on your arm? Oh my gosh, it's just my allergies. It's just my eczema.
The kids are observant. Yeah.
Every kid is observant around that age. But like, I remember just going to school one day. I think it was in seventh grade. I had a sty in my eye, and you know how styes work? It just like kind of swells up on your eyelid. You look like you got in a fight the night before. And I got so embarrassed, so I did like the Kakashi look, but with my hand. I'd just like put it over my eye, read books like that, until my teacher told me to recite a passage out of the book in front of the class. And I'm like, I have to hold this book with two hands. So I had to look down and I'm reading it.
That's rough, dude. And then
Yeah.
like as a kid, you don't really know how to like cope with that. Some people like would be like, "Yeah, I got in a fight," and you kind of laugh it off.
Yeah.
But you're on the opposite end where it's just like, I'm kind of insecure about this, guys.
Oh yeah. There's so many times that I couldn't control my anger because, like, you have your set of friends, they joke around with you, but sometimes it doesn't feel like a joke. So you want to release that anger, but you don't. So you get like frustrated and you want to just start, just like, it's like you're bottling up all your emotions.
That's like the worst anger to me. It's like
Exactly.
you're almost like passive aggressive in a way because you're definitely angry, but you're trying hard not to be in the moment.
I
It's tough.
know.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
It's like any moment you could just explode, but you don't. Like, I had so much self control in middle school. It's insane. The things my middle school self had to deal with were just really. It makes me pissed off that I didn't do anything about it. Like, I remember, like, my homeboys, quote unquote homeboys, they punched me in the arm, and I went home, and my mom was like, Alec, what the hell is that on your arm? My arm just bruised up. I'm like, what was it? I ran into a pole, mom. Yeah.
Dude, they yeah, those
Think
were not
about
friends.
punchies. Have you seen regular show punchies where they just punch each other?
No, I was not part of the
Oh,
regular show group.
oh, but yeah, the um the basic concept of the game is, oh, let's play punchies, and then the main character Mordecai punches Rigby in the arm so hard that Rigby can't even punch back. Just imagine that.
They're not good friends, man. They bruised
I
him.
lost contact with them. I don't care. They're part
That's
of my
good.
past.
That's good that you did.
They're a part of my past.
I relate. I mean, like I remember one time I had like a really bad breakout in high school, and then like my teacher went up to me and she's like, "Tommy, are you good? You've been stressing out." And I'm like, "I mean, kind of, but at the same time, like I think it's just hormonal." But it made me really self-conscious about myself. It's a bad time.
It's perfectly normal in middle school.
Yeah.
For me, at least, I can reason with it because I dealt with a lot of things in middle school. Like, I think that was my first taste of anxiety because I was studying for a history exam, I believe. And I already knew I wasn't going to do well. But my mom wanted to see my progress report then, like, the next day or so. And my teacher's like, all right, guys, I'm just letting you know this exam's going to be reflected on your progress report tomorrow or something like that. And I sat there with, like, sweat beam, like, all over my face. I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. And I got nervous. So I took my exam, I turned it in, and I just prayed to God the next day. And nothing happened. My grade was still pretty good. And I sat there, I'm like, what did I just feel? What is this feeling of fear, but also satisfaction at the end?
Satisfaction.
Because I didn't get in trouble, man. My grade was still decent. I had like a B, but it's like if I failed that exam, I'm pretty sure it would drop.
Like a sigh of relief.
Yeah, like,
Hmm. That's interesting that you're like you said that at the end of it you enjoyed like the piece that came after.
yeah.
So do you think that like you unconsciously put yourself in a really anxious situation?
Oh,
So then
yeah.
at the end of it like you'll end up with like a dopamine high because you're like, damn, one more crisis averted.
Yeah, I think so. But it was only because, like, let's say your teacher decides to give you an exam and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't remember anything about Thomas Jefferson. I don't remember anything about this dude. But you take the exam and you know it, but you're also nervous. Like, wait, what if he wasn't born on this year? What if he's born the other year? And it's multiple choice. So you have like 25% chance of choosing the right answer.
There's been so many times where I go into an exam and I'm like, I have no idea what is going on right now. And then I come out and I'm like, you know, I didn't fail, so I'll take it.
Yeah, there's moments like that. And I'm just thinking about other things I had to deal with at my age, especially during middle school and elementary school. I was like, that was a tough time for my mental health because I guess my family environment wasn't the best, and I reflected on that through homework and tests. I find that whenever like if shit was going down the week before and I had a test next week, like I probably wasn't gonna do good.
I definitely think our culture plays a big role into it too, because there's so much expectations on our shoulder.
Yeah,
We're
I feel that.
like the first born American on this in this soil, at least,
Mm-hmm.
like on American soil. So it's like we're here to kind of establish the beginning of a legacy, and we want to do well. But then unfortunately it breeds anxiety, and then when you don't meet the mark, sometimes it just breeds depression too. And then it sucks because all that stuff, it starts bleeding into your personal life and your family life, and it just starts to clump. And I think that's what happened with me.
Oh,
It's like a lot of things that I'm like looking back into like my early 20s and my late teens, and I'm like, oh, this is, I can see a pattern of why I do what I do. And I've been spending the later years of my 20s trying to learn better ways to cope, or learn better ways to manage my anxiety or my depressive thoughts. And it's going. It's just going.
that's insane. I mean, we're both the oldest sibling, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you had this moment, but did you have a moment where you were leading your sibling? Like you have to be the model older brother or model adult for them
Oh,
so they
yeah.
can thrive?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, the burden on my shoulders, like every day, especially since, I mean, my parents kind of split for a little bit. And so I was basically the adult and the older sibling when my mom was at work. Oh, so much stress and anxiety at such a young age can do something.
I think it's almost ingrained in our Vietnamese culture, though. It's like you're expected to be the third parent,
Yeah.
essentially. And it's a lot of stress for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You end up growing really fast, and then that's where most people end up developing anxiety disorders because of it. Like, you just have to so much to carry, and you don't really have a chance to be a kid. I think I look back and I'm like, oh, maybe this is why I'm such a nostalgic person, because it's like I to me I didn't believe that I got to fully live like my 20s, because I was so gung ho about, oh, I gotta like be successful. I want to be as successful as possible.
Yeah.
I want to like lift my family out of poverty. Like, we lived in a trailer park until I was like the age of 25. So it's like coming from such humble beginnings, and looking back now, I'm glad that it taught me a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but in some ways I'm still kind of dealing with the ramifications of everything that happened, the trauma that comes behind it.
I remember like I graduated high school at 16, and so my head was like stereotypical 4 year college, and I'm like I'm gonna get my people out of here. My main goal was to take care of my mom and siblings,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm 20. I'm about to turn 20, man, next week, and I'm thinking about like I didn't succeed at all. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm pretty stagnant with my education, and I kind of got depressed when I had COVID. That's whenever like my thoughts started coming in, and I'm like, I don't think I'm doing enough to help them right now. I was supposed to be working in the workforce. Like I'm supposed to be making six figures with my IT job that I was supposed to do, but I didn't like IT in the end.
So you expected yourself to have a degree at the age of 20, essentially.
Yeah,
But I mean, you did a career switch.
yeah. It was pretty hard at the time because that was my main goal. My main goal was to try to help my mom and siblings out.
It's so hard to find that balance between, I want to help my family, but I have to take care of myself too.
Hmm. And like, think about it. I think I'm doing okay. I'm still going to school. It's not like I stopped. Yeah, if I stopped, that'd be a very different story. But I'm still going. Just, just the process is gonna have to take a little longer.
It's tough, especially like you're going to be 20 in a few days.
Ugh. The big 2-0.
Are you excited?
Yes and no. Like I said, like I'm turning 20. I graduated high school at 16. I never really achieved my goal, but I'm still moving towards it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not running, but I'm crawling, and that's what matters.
Baby
I'm
steps.
still going.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, yeah.
Yeah. It's very easy to fall into the trap of I want this and I want it now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you were 16, you were expected to be at some magical land at the age of 20. And now looking back, do you think that like was it a little bit unrealistic?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really unrealistic. But I'm doing things right now that I enjoy. This podcast, homies. And I'm just, like I said, I'm not running, but I'm crawling, and that's what matters. I'm still making it.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
what I'm excited for, on the other hand, is I'm becoming older. And I'm thinking to myself, that leads me to have a lot more responsibility. But also things I can do. And I'm like, I should start a little travel journey just one time out of my life. And that's to see my girls twice. I gotta see them one day. I'm like, I can go by myself. I don't care. I'm still gonna go.
Have you ever like done something like that ever?
Nope. I collected the albums and I'm like, I'm supporting you from afar, girls. From afar. All the way from Louisiana.
I was watching some of their tour videos and I was like, wow.
So hype, right?
The charisma that they have on stage is pretty unreal. I
Mm-hmm.
notice it. Because I see other group members. I mean, I see other groups in K-pop, and they're all good, but there's certain ones that are like standouts. So it's kind of like uneven. But with Twice, I was like, as a collective group, they're all quite talented.
Oh yeah, they are. And you know what's even better? You could take a video with your phone from so far, and their beauty will still shine. Like, ooh. I get so hyped when I think about them. That's like my escape. If I'm feeling like, if my anxiety is hitting, my depression's coming after me, everything's on top, I'm like, nope. Open Spotify, turn on Twice, and I vibe through it. I do my work. I'm doing things I enjoy, and I just vibe through it. I don't let it attack me no more.
I was kind of having a rough day yesterday, and I kind of like took a break, and I was just sitting at home, and I started watching YouTube videos of G-Idol and their US tour, and I was like, you know, this is the first time I have like major FOMO.
Mm-hmm. Fear of missing out.
Yeah, like I was like, wow, maybe I should have gone, and then I dropped the S word, like I said should, and I was like, oh no, but it was still nice watching the video at home and just vibing and just seeing my girl Minnie, man.
Minnie.
She's so like
me on, bro.
She hypnotizes me, man. I'm just like, dude, I'm watching the video.
Me. I need that on a shirt.
I'm like, I watched the video and I'm like, oh, this is why fan cams exist, because I could not take my eyes off of her. I was like, man, what a goddess. Oh my god.
I'm just thinking about it now. If I were to go to a Twice concert, the serotonin release, I'd be like, my eyes would be everywhere. I probably won't even move. I'm just gonna stand very straight and just visualize everything.
You know, it's interesting that you call it serotonin, because I think that nowadays, I saw a recent study and it was saying how like serotonin, it's important in mood regulation, but it's not like the key to happiness actually.
Really?
They're moving towards the theory that dopamine plays a way larger role in how we like live fulfilling lives. Because if you think about it, most of things that make us happy produces dopamine. So when you go to the gym, you get a dopamine spike from like working out. I mean, that's why you know, that's why people call it the runner's high.
Yeah.
You go and you exercise and afterwards you just feel great. there's been times where I finish the gym session, I'm like, wow, I feel amazing. Like I'm ready to take on the world.
I can agree. I can agree.
I mean, other things that it's a lot of people nowadays, I notice I think there's a bigger conversation on like dopamine as a whole because it it can veer two ways. It can go team addiction or it can be team like satisfaction. So
Mm.
going to concerts, going to the gym, seeing your family, spending time with your friends, falling in love, those things are like pretty good ways of producing dopamine. And then you go on the opposite spectrum where it's just like, oh, drug addiction, gambling, smoking,
Ooh.
vaping. Um, there's just a lot of negative ways, unhealthy ways
Hmm.
to get your dopamine rush.
I can agree on that. I hate to say it. I mean, you saw it that weekend, but when I drink alcohol, the hype is high. And I felt that the negative effects of it. Because when I got home the next day, I got up for church. I finished church and I just sat in my car. And I was like, I miss it. I miss having that fun.
How does alcohol make you happy?
Did you not? I mean, I felt the hype when I left your house. I was like, yo, I had so much fun. I was just talking to myself in the car. I'm like, yo, I'm having so much fun tonight. I drank. I didn't think I could sing. I went home. I just went straight to bed in a happy mood. And I woke up and I was like, oh man, I miss it. I don't remember much, but I remember the emotions I felt. And that's exactly what I wanted to feel.
What did you remember?
Oh man. So I find that the way it comes back to me is the things that have like little clicks. So on my phone, I had a bunch of Shazam things I recorded. Is that the word to go? And I saw "Sexy Love" by Neo, and then it sparked a memory. I'm like,
Did it spark a memory?
yeah, because I just remember seeing like a purple background and a pretty girl.
Oh, like during that moment?
Yeah,
Aw,
and then I think it was Yellow,
by
and
Coldplay.
yeah, Yellow by Coldplay, and I remember listening to it. I'm like, this reminds me of the ending of a song or something. And then when I sent it to you, you're like end credit song, and it clicked in my mind. I'm like, isn't that what he told me? So I'm just kind of going down the list of songs. I'm trying to remember. Um, what was it? Red Swan, dude. I don't know like what happened, but when I listened to it, it felt amazing.
Who sings Red Swan?
It was an Attack on Titan song.
Oh, the song Red Swan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
like, yo,
that's a good end credit song too.
and I'm just like, these songs are so good. What happened? No, the one that hit me was Late Night Talking.
Oh, by Harry Styles.
Yeah, that song is
Dude,
so good.
I love that song too.
So as I'm listening to these songs, I'm feeling hype, but I'm not even remembering what happens. I'm just in the moment. I'm listening to it, and I'm just trying to remember everything, every little thing I could probably pick out of it. Um, I do remember Hotline Bling.
Hotline Bling is one of the greatest karaoke songs to sing.
Yeah, yeah. I think about it every now and then when I'm driving home from the gym or picking up my siblings. I'm like, man, that night was really fun.
I think culturally, um, I'm not too sure of other ethnicities, but I know for sure Vietnamese people and Filipino people, they love to karaoke and they love the karaoke drunk. So what happens with alcohol is apparently it inhibits the GABA receptor, and that receptor is integral in like how people how people's anxiety spikes up or spikes down. So apparently it like dampens it. So you can just be more in the moment and you're just able to
Mm,
enjoy yourself more. So that might be the reason why you're like to you whenever you drink you're like, "Man, I just get so hyped." And maybe it's because you're not overthinking anything, you're just having a good time. You're just being there for the moment. Even though sometimes if you drink too much, you're like,
yeah,
you can't remember
yeah,
it that
yeah.
well.
But like, You see, when I went home, I felt kind of sober, and I just fell asleep when I got home. But there's some like blur moments, you know, like you're moving fast and it's a blur. I do have a video I'll show you later. It's I think it was the boys. We were saying "Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan. I recorded myself. I was like, I probably won't remember this. I better record it, and I just record it. That's the one. It's not like memories I can like reclaim in that moment. Hi, this is your co-host Alec from Thienletics. About to input some of that karaoke footage. Hope you enjoy the hype. Also, quick disclaimer for volume: it's gonna be loud.
Let's get it! You're unsuited for the rage of war. So pack up, go home, you're through. How could I?
I hope you like that karaoke audio featuring the boys. Back to the podcast. Oh, I was so hyped.
You definitely need to like go through a Disney playlist during karaoke. Like, you have to, man.
I might need the lyrics, man. I think I don't think I followed the lyrics too well when I was drunk. I kept like skimming, probably.
It's okay.
Glitching
With
out.
time, you'll know it by heart. Because I can close my eyes and I could sing that song to perfection, dude.
The boys.
I do want to put a disclaimer that we do not promote underage drinking. However, we understand why.
We understand why. Man, I mean, I was in the vicinity of adults, so I mean,
You know, I actually didn't have my first alcoholic beverage until the age of 22. I was like a goody two shoes. Like I waited. I was like, I'm not gonna drink alcohol until I'm 21 because I want to do it legally.
Yeesh. Yours was 22. I think I don't know if my parents or my older aunts and uncles are gonna listen to this.
They will.
I'm pretty sure they will. Mine was relatively young. I'm talking probably under 18.
Go on.
But it was like I told you before, my drinking habits are very spotty. Like I don't go every day drinking. If there's an event I'm going to with friends, hell yeah, I'm a drink. So I think it was my cousin's graduation. I got drunk and it was fun. Although I can't remember exactly what happened. I was like playing cards in a group, and I think the purpose of the game is if you don't like get this certain card, you have to drink. And apparently my luck was out of the window because I just kept seeing a shot refill in front of me. I'm like, I guess I have to drink this because I lost. I don't remember what was the count, but I just remember going home very, very lopsided feeling.
How old were you?
I had to say I was like 16, 17. But I was with family. And I know they would take care of me. I mean, my uncle took me home. He made sure I drink water, gave me an Advil.
Yeah.
He's like, here, homeboy, drink. And I had like these like coconut jelly things that I would drink, and it kept me hydrated. I got
You were
home.
drinking responsibly.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I can remember the I can definitely remember the look on my mom's face when she found out I drank. Like she was mad, but she was like laughing at me. I guess she knew I had fun, but she just didn't want my dad to know. I'm like, you're a real one, Mom. Now let me go shower real quick.
She was split. She was like, she had fun, but
That's what she did for this past weekend. She's like, Alec, I told you to come home at 11. But I'm like, Mom, would you want me to go home drunk? She's like, no, but.
What time did you get home? Like 2:30?
2?
2? No.
2?
Yeah, man, there's no way, man. Like, if
high.
you left before 2, if you got home before 2, I would have failed. I'm like, this party was not the right party.
I know. But I'm glad I went home at 2 because I just remember I'm like, yo, this was fun.
When I was younger, I always dreamed about like having a really like a nice home, and then I could invite friends over and we can just do stuff like have parties or just hang out. And that was something that my sister also really wanted to do too. growing up, she actually told me like, "Oh, hey Tommy, like I actually kind of felt ashamed of our house condition." And I think that these parties were really nice because it's like we're kind of reclaiming something that we lost in our youth. Because I remember not really inviting friends over. I had like one friend, but I like really trusted that friend. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, like you can come over. But it's just, it's rough growing up in like a household that's like not the greatest conditions. But I'm glad that now, present day, like we're able to throw this party. Everyone had a good time, you know,
That's good.
and it was a good memory. It will be like a really good memory to look back on.
That's really cool. Like, I feel like I can't even have like a drunk karaoke session right now because my siblings are so young. Like, my youngest sibling is 11. So I ever brought like some people older, like a decade older than me, just to come over and drink. I'd be like, it'll feel really awkward.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I hope to have that same environment with my siblings. Like, if we ever get older, and they say they won't drink, but that's what everybody says, unless like you're that rare 1% that doesn't want to drink at all.
Hmm.
I mean, I hope to have that same memory with them. The hot pot was good. I remember eating a lot of hot pot. I'm like, this is really good.
Hot pot is one of the greatest inventions of all time.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like you have this really delicious soup base already, and then you cook like meats in it, and it just locks all of the flavor, and then you drink the soup, and it's just as time progresses, the hot pot tastes better and better because all of the flavor it just stays in the soup, and then you just drink the soup and you just rinse and repeat. I could eat hot pot for like 2 hours,
I
3 hours.
believe you. You see, I was really shy.
Yeah.
I was pretty shy. I was like, I don't think I should eat. Like, I kept like flipping over. I'm like, I want to eat more, but I was like, I better like
Let me
calm
be
down.
conservative.
Be conservative. Yeah, I was pretty conservative.
You were, you were. Next time you're like, all right, I don't give a damn. I'm hungry.
Hungry. Yeah, probably. You know, when you talked about your conversation with your sister, I'm thinking about it now. I'm trying to relate to it, but I'm not even sure if I can because my parents split like I guess pretty often. And we would like go to an apartment or whatever, but it's just kind of I don't know.
When you mean by split, it's like they would separate for times. Like, they
Yeah,
would just separate for periods of time.
separate for periods of time. Yeah. I'm like trying to see what my sister would like to do. If anything, it's probably something she sees from the K dramas, like go to Korean barbecue, which we went to. I will say I'm on the side that doesn't like K barbecue anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah, bro.
Hold on.
It's
Hold on,
overrated.
man.
Overrated.
No.
Yes.
Go. All right, all right,
All right. Unless you know a spot and you can change my mind,
What?
I'll go.
Where did you go?
I don't even know, man. I went recently.
Where was it?
I don't know. I don't even know where it was, man. Like,
You don't know what city it was in?
it was in Houston for
It
sure.
was in Houston? Okay.
It was Houston for sure. And look, let me just get to my experience. I think it's overrated only because you gotta sit there and then you just gotta wait for it to cook. And then you gotta eat it and you gotta do it again. And I'm like, oh man, all this meat, cooking meat. I think it's because maybe I was surrounded with my younger cousins because I'm the oldest cousin on my dad's side. So you have this 19-year-old with his aunts and uncles, and you have his younger cousins, which was still enjoyable. But I just find like, oh man,
Okay.
K barbecue is pretty interesting.
I empathize with new people that go to K barbecue. Like they come in, they sit down, and they're like,
What do I do now?
"Shit, like, you're telling me I'm paying people to cook my own food? Like I'm cooking my own food? Like, that's why would you do that? What's the point of that? Like,
Yeah,
I'm going there literally to like relax, but I'm cooking my own food. But I think that there's a level of camaraderie whenever you go with a group of people and you're all cooking the food together.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's why I really enjoy going to like Korean barbecue restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you go there and it's true, you do spend time cooking the meat, so chances are you're not gonna be there for like less than an hour for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually go to all you can eats, so they're generally at least like 2 hour lunches or dinner.
Definitely.
Like to make, you gotta get your bang for the buck, man. But I think that during that time, it's like, I think that's what life is about, just being around people that you care about and cooking the food. Like it makes you slow down. It makes you take your time and like just enjoy doing, like you're basically doing an activity while eating with somebody.
For real.
So I think that's why to me it's like I find it very wholesome.
That's one way to look at it. Whenever I got there and I got the meats, I'm like, no, let me just try to do this. My uncle took it and he cooked it. I'm like, I sat there for 5 minutes maybe.
What meats did you try?
So I basically tried any meat they had. They, you know how they have their little lane full of meat that you could pick. I picked one of each. I'm like, this is not like the K-dramas. The K-dramas make it look good. When I'm doing it, I'm like, oh man, I don't think I'm doing this right. And my uncle's like,
did you get the galbi? Did you get the short rib? Dude,
it's good. It's good. I will say, but it's like, oh man, I gotta sit here. I gotta wait for it. I gotta flip it. And you know what? I forgot which restaurant it was, but shout out to the manager that lied to me. Homeboy said they had no more soju posters. I'm like, I know you have some in your office, homie. Give me it. I want IU. Come on. He only gave me the link to where to buy it, but I'm like, I know you have it back there.
They have posters of.
Do you ever like, you know what I'm talking about? Like when you go to a Korean barbecue restaurant, you have like a K-pop idol poster.
My friend, like he stole the cutout.
No way.
Like, you know how there's like a girl and then she holds the soju.
I want that so bad.
He took the cutout home. I don't know how he did it, but he took it home, and it's I saw it in his apartment. I was like, how? I mean, okay.
I'm jealous, man. I want that.
You're like,
I was looking online, like, where can I get a soju cutout?
You're like taking notes right now. You're like, all right. Next thing to do, steal the soju cutout.
Oh man, if only I could. There's these episodes of Happiness that I enjoy, but then I think about it now, and it's good memories, but I get upset because I'm like, I want to live that again, man. It was like my first like encounter with this new experience, and I almost get like fear of missing out, even though I did it, because it's like I want to relive it, but I can't. I have to wait.
Relive what?
Like, for example, we did karaoke and we ate hot pot. I drink and stuff. That's my first time actually trying to sing karaoke or rap or whatever.
Yeah? Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun, but you see, I like, after it's done, it's such a good memory. I want to relive it, but I can't. Not yet.
Damn. It's like...
that's from like, my depression kind of kicks in. I'm like, I should have relived the moment even more. I should have done more to like make it livelier.
It's like post-concert depression or post-festival depression or post-con depression.
Yes,
like
man.
the dope, like the emotions were so happy, and now you're like, damn, time return to base. Time to return to base. That's great though that it gave you such a happy memory, because, dude, like we could do this like every month, man.
Yo, what? I'm down because I don't go out. I'm telling you, my daily routine has always been work, school, gym.
I mean, it's been a difficult couple of years. Like the pandemic, when the pandemic happened, I mean, I was an introvert myself, but I just, getting through life and not interacting with others or having fun with others, like it's doable. You'll survive, but it's, to me, like I wouldn't consider that like I'm living.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that living either. It's just so boring. You gotta stay inside. I remember, like, did you ever have your moment where like your hair is growing and you have to cut it?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Shout out to my hair barber, Miss Olay. She came by my house with the mask in the hot sun. She's like, "Let me cut your hair for you." Ooh, she came in clutch.
Dude, she's a real one.
She is a real one. I'm like,
Are you guys close?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, I don't
like
think...
my uncle tells me when my hair is long, "Let me cut your hair for you. Come on, Alec." I'm like, "No, I can't. I'm just trying to grow it out." But in actuality, I'm like, I want Miss Olay to cut it. She knows my hairstyle.
You ever watched a video of like, there's like cheating on your barber?
Oh yeah, cheating on your barber.
Where
That's
you
so funny.
that's basically what you're doing. You're like, yeah, I just, yeah, like I'll let you cut my hair one day, but like deep down you're like, I'm in a committed relationship right now with my
Nah,
barber.
I can't do that to Miss Olay.
Exactly. I just can't.
Oh man, I'm like trying to rethink of my pandemic days. It's so weird because I remember when it first came out, like COVID is taking over like United States. I went to Super One Foods without a mask, and I was talking to my aunt. She's like, "Hey, Alec, where you at?" And then I'm like, just talking to her. I'm like, "Do you have a mask on?" I'm like, "No. Why do I need one?" I didn't even know well COVID was that bad. And she's like, "Alec, I think you should start wearing a mask and maybe wear gloves when you go to a grocery store." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I was talking to my mom about it. She's like, "Yeah, did you have a mask on?" I'm like, "What mask?"
I think since I worked in healthcare, it was just kind of like it's just uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So my experience with wearing the mask was quite easy, and as a healthcare provider, my goal in life is to help others and take care of others, and you just try to live your life with as much compassion as possible. So it's like, to me, it was like an easy no-brainer.
Dude.
This pandemic, a lot happened, but honestly, I the worst thing is I look back now and I have more compassion for everybody
Mm-hmm.
because everyone got pushed into survival mode. And being in survival mode is one of it's just it's rough. It's really rough.
It really is. Like, see, I know my mom is a business owner and she has to interact with people since she owns her nail shop, right?
Yeah.
But when COVID hit, it's like, what do you do? And I know my mom would work sometimes. Like, I think she would work every once in a while just to have some cash on her. But it just sucks. Like, thinking about how people usually worked and what they can do now. Man, my mama still don't wear a mask at work. I'm like, she's not a hypochondriac like me, but I keep telling her, I'm like, "Mom, I think you should wear a mask just in case. I know your health isn't the best, but you should do that."
Right now, I don't see a right or wrong answer to the mask debate because I understand that people that wear their mask, it it probably is the the healthier way of how society will move. At the same time, I understand why people choose not to wear their mask because all we want is to just have some level of normality again. And I can understand why people kind of reject the idea of wearing the mask because it just reminds them of the pandemic. And for the majority of people during the pandemic years, it was just quite a bad time.
I can visualize COVID as if it were yesterday, homie. Just like you gotta stay inside. You can't go anywhere. This is probably your only like from this time to this time is the only time you can go get groceries or whatever. This grocery store is gonna be open from this to this time. Some ladies hoarding toilet paper. Oh, the hand sanitizer hoards. I'll be honest. I thought it was gonna be the end of the world. I'm like, it's happening. I knew it. I'm like, I didn't get my bunker ready, man. I didn't have my water supplies. I didn't get my food ready. I'm like, it's happening.
My toilet paper.
My toilet paper.
My toilet paper.
You know, I always think about it. I'm like, I wonder how rich people feel. Or just like people that have access to a bidet. They're just laughing at us. Look at these people getting toilet paper. Well, I have my bidet.
Dude, I'm team bidet too, honestly.
Bro,
I didn't worry about toilet paper during the pandemic. I was like, I mean, it is what it is, you know, like it's fine. Like,
Yeah,
Toilet paper's expensive, man.
it really is.
But they save you a lot of money.
Like, we keep telling our dad, I'm just like, Dad, like, investing in bidet isn't that bad. I mean, look at the toilet paper cost. I was about to do a whole PowerPoint slide on how bidet can save us so much money and time, and he just straight to the bin.
It's not for everybody, man. It's not for everybody. That's okay.
I remember the day I had to describe what a bidet was for my little brother. He's like, "What is a bidet, Alec?" I'm like, "So think about this. You use toilet paper to wipe your butt after you take a dump, right? Now imagine this. You don't have to wipe your butt. Water shoots at your butt, so you're clean." He's like, "Whoa." I'm like, "Exactly. That's what technology has gone to."
Bidets are game changers.
Huge game changers.
It's funny because my favorite podcast, they talk about bidets all the time. And in Japan, they've like revolutionized the bathroom experience. There's like warmed toilet seats and bidets. Like, it's just universal over there. All right, let's pause the podcast.
We're back at it.
We had to take a momentary break. So I think that the last topic I do want to talk about actually is, for today, it's gonna be like survival mode, because it's interesting looking back post pandemic now and post me going to therapy, honestly, because whenever the pandemic happened, I was like, I think it really made me confront a lot of things that I've been just putting on the back burner mentally, and it made me realize, have I really been like fully living these like 20 some years of my life? I've just been surviving. And post pandemic now, for the year of 2022, I don't want to be in survival mode anymore. I make an active effort to not do that. And I want to be in a healing era of my life. And I want to be in an era of my life where I'm not surviving anymore, I'm thriving.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I want this
Don't
to be like
survive,
the thrive.
thrive.
Yeah,
Dude.
I want a thrive era. Like, I just want, and that doesn't exactly mean like everything is gonna be sunshine and rainbows and everything will work out. But it's just like I want things to get thrown my way, and I don't want it to like destroy me. Like, I will have my off days, and I do have my off days still this year, but I want to handle them with such better grace. I want to handle them with better coping skills and coping techniques. That's my goal for this year, for my mental health.
Dude, what a goal. Like, I respect that, because that's how I want to take myself right now. I mean, I've gone through some stuff recently, so I'm really just trying to put myself out there. I don't want to be a little hermit crab no more. I'm trying to be a king crab.
It's really easy to like be the hermit crab and just isolate and just ruminate and just not do anything and just stay inside your shell.
But I basically live my life as the hermit crab, and I learned things as the hermit crab, but I had just a little taste of what's like outside of it, and I loved it. I want to chase that, and I'm trying.
So I guess to end this podcast, like, is there anything that you're looking forward to? Do you have any goals for your mental health this year?
So my family knows I stress with school, I stress with my life goals, I stress with my just self-worth, about who I am now, and I'm telling myself to be more content with my life, to move forward even through hiccups and obstacles. I don't want to use my mental health as an excuse to stop. I still want to keep going, whether it's me crawling or freaking just rolling over to get to my goal. I mean, I don't have to run, but I want to make an effort to take control of my life instead of letting my mental health anxiety just take over. I'm not trying to.
Why are you laughing, man? That's our outro music.
It's outro music. All right,
This has been the Thienletics podcast, Vietnam edition. Thank you. Good night.
Blast it. I'm not sure if you can hear this, audience, but
raise up the volume for the guy.
I'm not sure you guys can hear this, but there's some Viet music playing in the background. But y'all know my goals.
Oh, I thought you paused it.
No,
Oh, okay.
we still going.
Oh, okay.
That's it for Thienletics with Tommy and Alec. Catch you next time on the next EP.
Bye, guys.
Hi, this is your co-host Alec from Thienletics. About to input some of that karaoke footage. Hope you enjoy the hype. Also, quick disclaimer for volume, it's gonna be loud.
Let's get it! You're unsuited for the rage of war. So pack up, go home, you're through. How could I?
I hope you like that karaoke audio featuring the boys. Back to the podcast.